Hi, my name is Kayla McCormick, and I was a swimmer at UNI. I graduated in 2014, so swam for 4 years, and I'm currently coaching men's and women's swimming. I'm the full-time assistant coach at Allegheny College out in Meadville, Pennsylvania.
My name is Sydney Wilson, and I graduated in 2017 and played women's tennis at UNI, and I am now in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and I am doing career development for high school students.
Hi, I'm Jacob Rathmaker. I played football in Northern Iowa and I graduated in 2015. Currently, I'm a first-year medical student in Indianapolis.
One of the best lessons I learned from a coach was on humility and being humble. He talked about it a lot, but he also lived it, and just that he wasn't afraid to do the little things, do the little dirty work that gets no glory at all, but he was always 100% willing to put in that effort, and his actions went a long way. And that's something that I think about on a daily basis, is how can I help people, customers that I see, and just not to be ashamed or think it's lowly to do the little work, because it makes a big difference.
One of the greatest lessons that I probably learned from a coach was, one was how to push myself, both mentally and physically, in a way that I had never thought possible when I was in college. But then also, other coaches have definitely taught me the power of relationship and how your influence matters only when you have relationship with your athletes. Relationship matters far more than the times that you put up or the results, the numbers. So relationship trumps performance, and typically when relationships between coaches and athletes are thriving, that's when performance will be at its best.
One of the greatest things I learned from coaches, probably not just in college but over high school, is just being able to just focus on what my job was at hand and not having to worry about everything else on the field. Just coaches just made me realize that I only can control what I can control, and by trying my best in practice and in the game on my task at hand would be the best way to help the team, and just to have confidence in my teammates that they would also get their jobs done so that we can be successful on the field. Along with that, just not focusing on what I had to do. Also, over time, I stopped worrying about what the other team, if I thought something was wrong, or especially with the refs. I used to be a little hot-headed at times and always get frustrated with if a call wasn't made, but just over time I think I matured, and with the help of coaches was able to be a better player, teammate.
How am I implementing that today? I'm implementing that today because I coach myself, and so as a coach, I remind my athletes that the ability to be able to swim is a temporary platform. They're going to have it for 4 years, and they should really enjoy it rather than get wrapped up in one bad swim. It's just one bad swim. You have many more opportunities to race. It's not the end of the world. There are far more important things, but rather knowing their true identity and their purpose in Christ will definitely help them understand that it's a temporary gift to be able to compete at the college level.
I got involved in FCA at UNI because some of my friends who were already in it kept inviting me constantly until the point where I couldn't say no, and when I showed up finally, I didn't want to leave ever.
I got involved in FCA my sophomore year. I had a friend who was on the leadership team, and he was always inviting me, and eventually as I kept going, I kept learning more and kept getting to know more of the people there, and it was just an awesome community of fellow athletes and believers, and it was just a great group of people to get to know, to bond with, and to grow together with.
I got involved at UNI's FCA. I actually went a few times my freshman and sophomore year. Met Ken, remembered Ken, And my junior year, one of the girls on the cross country and track team who I was friends with, her name was April, she told me towards the end of my junior year, she kept saying, you need to be an FCA leader, you need to be an FCA leader. And so I finally went with her started going to FCA meetings more regularly with her, and then got to talk to Ken about the possibility of being a leader, and he let me on right away. And so I became a leader, and throughout my senior year, remained a leader for FCA at UNI, which was awesome.
When I came to know Christ, it was through FCA at college. When I came to college, I definitely knew who Christ was and believed in him, but I didn't know what it meant to live for him. And so through FCA, I got connected with a mentor who was on the basketball team, and she took time to meet with me once a week to go over the Bible and just answer questions that I had. And it was through her and her life that she lived for Christ that I really learned what it's like to be a Christian and live for Christ fully. And so everywhere that I was looking for happiness always failed me, but once I put my life into Christ, I found true joy, and I've just grown ever since, and I'm just excited to live every day. And so it really just gives a purpose in your life.
So my mini testimony, I would say I grew up in a good Christian home, went to church every Sunday, did all those things, was a good kid, thought I was saved, thought I did what it took to be saved. But it wasn't until college when I started to learn for myself who Jesus was and what it was that he was asking of me and was asking of other Christians. The moment I got saved, I would say it was a Good Friday service, my sophomore, junior year, and it was at that service where they really laid out what Jesus went through, the pain he endured, and why he endured that pain. And that's just kind of when it hit me that this wasn't just a story in a book anymore. It was real life. It was what really happened a couple thousand years ago. And that's just when it became clear to me that Jesus had a plan and that he knew who I was.
One piece of advice I think I could give coaches is take care of yourself. I know you guys always are telling us to be healthy, take care of ourselves so we can play on the game, but at the same time, I know how much time you guys are putting in, early mornings, late nights. I don't know how you guys do it, but just take the time for yourselves, because even though I know you guys care so much about us, you need to take time for yourselves, and if that spend time in the Word for yourselves, be in groups with other coaches, take time with your family as well, because I know they care for you just as much as we care for you and you cared for us.
Thank you, FCA and coaches at UNI, for making an honest impact in my life.
I just want to thank FCA and all the coaches at UNI for taking time to invest in us and just impacting us every day.
I can't thank you guys enough for how much time and effort you put into trying to make us successful, and I just appreciate everything you've done for us, and everything, the memories I'll have from coaches and the examples you set for me and my teammates, I'll remember for the rest of my life.